Zenkais are a very important plot device in the show Dragon Ball, as you all know. Now, before I continue on, one thing to note, yes, this is quote-unquote a remaster of a what if that I have done before, and it's been nearly a year. It's been around 11 plus months, so it's been pretty much a year since I've done it, so I decided to do it again and remaster it, change the story up a little bit, add some more exciting stuff to it. So, as you guys know, Zenkais weren't really a thing until the early Dragon Ball Z saga when we found out about the Saiyans, as Zenkais weren't even a thing. And there's been a lot of instances where Goku could have gotten big Zenkai jumps, such as when he fought Demon King Piccolo. He was severely wounded, but he survived, but he didn't really get much stronger. His power level was only around over 300 or so when he fought Piccolo Jr. And when he fought Piccolo Jr., he had both of his legs broken, bad wounds, and he had a wound through his shoulder when Piccolo shot a beam through him, and he had a Senzu Bean, and he didn't really get much stronger. His power level was only around 416 after 5 years when fighting Raditz. And of course, you can't tie in Goku getting a Zenkai during the Raditz fight because he died. Goku trained for 3 months, and he was able to go fight the Saiyans. Now, a big one is also during the Saiyan/Namek saga. It's very plot-induced, these Zenkais. The reason why is because Goku had pretty much every bone shattered, his body was completely destroyed because of the Kaioken technique, and on top, he was completely destroyed. And it took him weeks to recover, and he wasn't even fully done yet. Then he had to finally eat a Senzu Bean. But from Earth to Namek was only a week or two travel on top of the gravity. He only got 11.25 times stronger, going from a power level of 8,000 to 90,000, which is a huge jump back then. But a big chunk of it was because of the gravity that he was training in, pushing 100 times gravity. So you really got to throw in, well, okay, because Goku was shocked with how strong he's gotten when, remember, in the hospital, when he ate the Senzu Bean, he broke out of his, cast and everything. He did notice how he was a little bit stronger, but not by a big margin. After he trained in gravity, he was shocked with how strong he turned in. So the Zenkai didn't really bump him up that much. In reality, he should have gotten a huge Zenkai, because later on in the Frieza saga, he went from having a power level of 90,000 to over 3 million just getting beaten up by Vegeta, Gohan, and the others, having a 33.33 times Zenkai, which is insane. So this we're going to change around. We're going to do what if Goku had a Super Zenkai. This is every time. Now, this will not be plot-induced. Goku just gets exponentially stronger every time he's severely wounded. So that's what we're going to go down this pathway. We're going to see how this is going to go. And the way to make this semi-realistic is it would be Bardock. Now, Bardock found out that his son is born. Bardock is a brilliant scientist. Bardock knows that Frieza is going to be attacking the Saiyans soon. He just feels like something's up. So, Bardock would then take some genetic coding to maybe increase the output of a Zenkai, adaptability. As Bardock is a scientist, why wouldn't he? Maybe this could also be an experimental serum, or maybe something that the Saiyans have been secretly working on behind Frieza's back, to maybe when the day comes, a Saiyan can grow strong enough, and maybe even King Vegeta could take it to where they grow strong enough, and then they could kill Frieza one day to make the Saiyans stronger. But of course, Frieza maybe caught wind of this. Frieza then decides to blow up the planet, totally because Beerus didn't want him to because of the pillow incident, but we're going to say that Frieza did it as well because of the serum. He doesn't want the Saiyans growing too strong. So Bardock, out of desperation, was able to capture the serum, stealing it, and give it to his son. And he has visions of his son beating Frieza one day. He then sends his son off, as Bardock would then sacrifice himself fighting Frieza alongside with the rest of the Saiyans, perishing, only leaving a handful of Saiyans left in the whole universe. As Goku would still land on Earth just like the original, as he would still be met by Grandpa Gohan, who was a loving, caring master. He would take care of Goku and raise the boy as his own. Goku would still have that horrible incident where he would fall off a cliff and hit his head. Now this would of course change Goku's attitude, as beforehand Goku was very aggressive, very mean, but after he bumped his head, he was a caring, loving baby. He was very kind. And so Goku would continue growing up. Now, one thing that Grandpa Gohan noticed, he can sense energy. When Goku was able to fully recover, he noticed how the boy's growth shot up exponentially higher. He was a lot more powerful than he originally was. Now, he's a baby. Come on now. He's not going to be one-shotting Beerus or anything like that, of course, but he did get a little bit stronger. And I'll explain in a minute what his power level is going to be when he meets Bulma. As Bulma, of course, now by the way, for Goku, unfortunately, Grandpa Gohan will still die because Goku accidentally killed him as a great ape, and that's how the story ended. So that all still went on, so Goku survived on his own. Now, Bulma was on her summer vacation searching for the Dragon Balls. She would still meet Goku, the same interaction as before, and most of that would pretty much go the same. Now, how strong is Goku at this point? Well, Goku's power level at the time was around 10. It was his power level. I would say this version of Goku, because of that horrible incident that he had when he was a baby, his power level is, I'm going to say, maybe around 50, which is already way higher. That's the power level he was when he started training with Master Roshi and training with Krillin. So Goku's already way more powerful. He's 5 times stronger than he is in the original. So when he does meet Master Roshi and he gives him the 3-star Dragon Ball and the Flying Nimbus, which of course Goku can jump on because he's pure-hearted, Master Roshi notes on how strong Goku is for his age. Even with little training, he's incredibly powerful. Now, they would easily defeat Terrible Oolong. Of course, they would spare Oolong, because he's Oolong. Now, originally, Yamcha actually attacked Goku when he was weaker. Now, Goku was starving and his power level was dropping. Yamcha was able to use his Wolf Fang Fist and stun Goku, and that whole scene played out. I think it would go a little bit differently. While I do think Goku would be weakened and the Wolf Fang Fist would knock him down, I think Goku would get up. I think Goku's power level was cut in half, and even if it was half of 50, his power level is still 25 and higher, so he would actually be able to tank the attack. It did hurt him a little bit, but he would actually be able to kind of drowsy, but he was able to fight off Yamcha, and they would still have the Dragon Ball, so it's okay. Now, Master Roshi would still use the Kamehameha Wave to put out the flames on the Frying Pan Mountain. Now, although he does destroy the mountain, along with the castle as well, among the debris, the 7-star Dragon Ball is found. Now, Goku at this time would have also met Chi-Chi as well, and he would have still made the silly promise. That would have all gone the same, because it's still the same Goku that we know, it's just the Zenkais that he gets is way higher. And we're also doing Zenkais early because it's a what if. We know that the Saiyans exist. Now, this is when Goku and Krillin become Master Roshi's students after finding Launch. Now, this is where some changes are going to occur, because Goku's much stronger than the original. By this point, I would say his power level is nearly 100. Why is that? Well, because even if you wanted to say his power level doubled, his power level was 10 by the time he met Roshi. And then it was roughly around 40 to 50 by the time he was trained by Roshi for 7 months. Well, if that's the case, his power level was nearly 5 times higher, but I'm not going to bump him up that high. I'm going to just say his power level is twice as high. His power level doubled when he last met Roshi, so his power level is 85 to 100. Now, this means that he is way more ahead than Krillin is, but Krillin, of course, is still trying to keep up with Goku. This would actually push Krillin to be a little bit stronger as well, which will impact the story later on a little bit. As Krillin is actually keeping up with Goku, it takes months for him to catch up, as Goku's potential is still the same. It's just the Zenkais are different. So Krillin, with a lot of struggle, was able to actually kind of catch up to Goku. Now, in the original, when Goku fought Master Roshi, their power levels were roughly in the 130s, 150s, and of course he fought Master Roshi, and it was a pretty intense fight. And this was during the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, Krillin would actually be around similar in strength, to where when he fought Master Roshi outwitted Krillin, and he didn't go full strength. I think the fight between Roshi and Krillin would be much more intense, because of the fact that Krillin is actually a lot more stronger than the original. He's not as strong as Goku is originally, but he is stronger than his original self. He's actually able to push Roshi. And in this timeline, you can even have Roshi training, because Roshi sees how far ahead Goku's getting, even Krillin. So he needs to step up. So he's training even harder as well, personally. But of course, Krillin would still lose to Roshi. I think it'll be a much closer fight, but he would still lose. Now, against Goku, this is where I think 2 options would happen. Either Roshi outwits Goku. As one thing to note as well, Goku would have still turned into a Great Ape, and Roshi would be forced to destroy the moon, but that would tank him out because going to his buff form drains a lot of energy. And of course, Goku would overwhelm Roshi. This is where I think Goku would actually win. It was an extremely close fight. Roshi was barely able to win before. Imagine a stronger Goku now, who's way more powerful than before. I think he would overwhelm Roshi and knock him out of the ring, but I think it would be a very close fight. Now, of course, Goku would then eat all the earnings away that one night because he was so hungry. Now, this is when the Red Ribbon Army saga would begin. Now, since Goku was so much stronger by this point, in my opinion, Goku's power level was shooting past 150 plus. He would, because Goku did get a little Zenkai from fighting Roshi. It was an intense fight. Not as intense as you guys may think, because he wasn't, of course, severely wounded. He's about to die. But I would say Goku's power level is nearing 200 by this point. Now, versus the Red Ribbon Army, that means that he would overwhelm, defeating Colonial Silver. He would take down White Cobra Muscle Tower. Of course, he would fight General Blue. And this time, he would actually be able to beat him. And he would also meet Ariel. And Ariel originally beat Blue by herself, but this time, Goku's got it. Now, Mercenary Tao would be an interesting fight, but I think Goku would treat him pretty bad. I think Goku would overwhelm him and defeat him pretty easily. And then this is when Krillin would then notice Korn's tower, and he would actually climb up the tower personally. Now, once he reaches the top of Korn's tower, he's not training out of desperation, because he has way more time to kind of fight the Red Ribbon Army. But even if you want to say he still had 3 days to train, and by the way, he also gave Goku sacred water. As we know, it's not the real thing. But Goku would be able to defeat the Red Ribbon Army, but pretty much ease, as they wouldn't be able to match his power. Goku's too strong. And Goku would overwhelm everybody in the Fortune Teller Baba battle arena, and he would still meet his dead grandfather. But now, for the next 3 years, Goku would then begin training to run around the world. He would continue training, and of course, he would swim to the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament. As power level-wise, I think that Goku's power level is easily 260 or so, as he did get much stronger. Maybe even 250 if you want to be nice. So, this time, when Goku fought in the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, Tien Shinhan would lose. Goku would actually beat him, becoming the winner. Krillin originally was killed by Tambourine. That would not happen this time around. Krillin has more motivation to train to be stronger and to catch up to his friend Goku. Krillin's power level is no joke. How strong is Krillin, you might add? His power level is 180 and higher. Krillin's power level was like around roughly 100, 120, 130, and Tambourine was able to kill him, get the drop on him. Krillin's power level is nearly 200 in this. Tambourine would have been fought off by Krillin, and Krillin would have actually really defeated him. Now, when Demon King Piccolo does arrive, this is where I would take a little bit of a turn. I don't think Goku would take the Ultra Divine Water. I don't think that would happen. What would happen is Krillin and Goku would actually team up to basically attack Demon King Piccolo. Now, due to his old age, Goku's pretty much as strong as he was in his prime. Demon King Piccolo would have been defeated. He wouldn't be able to wish for his youth, and he wouldn't be able to take over King Castle and take over the world. While I do think while he was severely wounded, he knows, out of desperation, he makes his reincarnation, Piccolo. And then I think he would succumb to his wounds and be defeated. This means that Kami is still alive in this timeline, so things are going to go similar. I think while Krillin is not dead, so they didn't have to wish him back, things were normal. This is when I think Goku would still meet Yajirobe afterwards. And this is when Goku would then climb back up Korn's tower to continue his training, as Korn, seeing how Demon King Piccolo was defeated, would he give Goku the Ultra Divine Water? Well, originally, Goku took it out of desperation to kill Demon King Piccolo. Now, if Goku did take it, I think Goku would get a little jump in power. His power level was around 250, 260. I think his power level would jump up to around 320, maybe even 330. So he's about the same strength as he was when he fought Piccolo Jr. in the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. So, since he did defeat Demon King Piccolo, Kami would introduce himself. Same with Popo, and for the next 3 years, Goku would begin his training under Kami. Now, they would also remove his tail, since of course Goku's a huge threat with his tail. He can't control the Great Ape State. So, this is when Goku, for the next 3 years, would begin his training. Now, of course, Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, even Chaozu would actually climb Torn's tower and train under him. Now, I think here, Krillin would actually stay under Korn's tower and continue training, as Krillin does want to get stronger. Another thing, Krillin would also have his own journey for the next 3 years. Krillin would also train with Roshi. He would ask Roshi, is it possible you can teach me? How do you turn into that buff state? I want to learn how to do it. And Roshi says it's extremely dangerous, but you do have the potential to use it. So for the next 2 years or so, Krillin will begin training to basically learn things under Master Roshi again, and to learn how to use an ability that we'll discuss in a moment. As by this point, World Martial Arts Tournament would then take place. Now Goku's met his best friends, everything's happy. How strong is Goku? as everyone wants to know. Well, Goku did get a pretty decent jump in power by the time he went to Kami's place and he trained. His power level was around 320, 330 by the time he trained at Kami's place. For the next 3 years, I think Goku's power level is easily, I would say, around 500, which is already way more powerful than Piccolo. And Piccolo's power level will be around the same, being around 316, so the same as the original. So unfortunately for Piccolo, we all know what happens. I still think when he fights Krillin, the fight would change a little bit. What do you mean by this? Well, Krillin's power level, in my opinion, would be around 230, maybe 250. Wow, okay, Krillin's strong. He's as strong as almost the Great Demon King was. Well, one difference, when Krillin was fighting Piccolo, this is when Krillin would, of course, try and stop him, as, of course, he wants to beat him. Krillin does have a backup card. Now, what backup card is this? Well, we know that Roshi's power level when he went buff, before he went buff was around 90. Then when he went buff, it, of course, went up. It's a little bit inconsistent with how strong he actually got. While some people say it's around 2 times stronger, I honestly think it's more like 1.5, but it doesn't really matter, as Krillin would then charge up his body, and he would then swell in size. His power level would then shoot up to 375, nearly 400, as he went into his buff form. And this is when he doesn't have much time. He would then charge an attack at Piccolo, and Krillin would actually knock out Piccolo. Piccolo does not have the energy to dodge the attack, and Krillin defeated him. But now, Kami would be ready to kill Piccolo, but Goku would stop him, saying, no, you both two need to be alive for you two to stay living, or else the Dragon Balls will disappear. Now, of course, Krillin and everybody were happy that Krillin actually won. He actually beat Piccolo. And Goku was amazed by his friend's strength. So, they would then give Krillin a Senzu Bean, and then the final match would then take place. It would not be Piccolo, as Piccolo Jr. saw that Goku spared him and everyone else. He would then leave. It was Goku and Krillin. And Krillin's been waiting for this moment. He tells Goku he's been waiting for this to give him everything that he has. And Krillin did not use everything he had in his buff form because he was already weakened. So he can bulk up a little bit more, but we'll touch on that in a minute. As Goku was excited to fight Krillin, he sees how strong Krillin's got and he's ready to go. Now, of course, they would fight in base form, of course, testing each other's skills. Of course, Goku being double the strength of Krillin in his normal form, Krillin, of course, is struggling. But Goku wants to see Krillin give everything that he has. So Krillin, of course, Roshi said to not do it yet, he's not ready. Krillin says screw it, he does it. Krillin was only used around 1.5, this time it'll be 2+. So when Krillin does power up, his power level was over 2 times higher, his power level would actually shoot up to be nearly 500. And it'll roughly be around 500 or so. It means he can match Goku. And Krillin would overwhelm Goku initially because Goku was shocked with how powerful Krillin was. Goku still has not removed his weighted clothing. So he's not at 500, he's more at around like 400, 450. And he would overwhelm Goku and slam him down in the arena, making a huge crater, practically almost destroying the whole arena. Goku would then step out, as that was a good attack. He has some pretty good wounds on him, and Goku would then begin taking off his shirt and taking off his boots, his wristbands, as he had weight. And Krillin was, of course, bulging muscles everywhere, looking like Arnold, all swole. Krillin was shocked to see that Goku still had more in the tank, and Goku says, now I'm light as a feather, let's really go, and the fight would continue. Krillin, of course, had raw strength over Goku. Goku had speed, because of the bulky muscles, Krillin was getting in the way. Krillin would then trick Goku, and Krillin would then shrink back in size. As we saw, Roshi can do this almost instantly. As Goku was surprised, he would then instantly bulk again and say, I'm going to hit you with everything I have. As his fist glows with energy, he hits Goku square in the chest with everything that he had. And it would launch Goku deep into the ground of the arena, blowing up almost everything. Now, of course, people survived. Everybody already ran out by the time Piccolo was there. And then Krillin would then revert back as he was severely tired, as he couldn't have much more. But then to his surprise, Krillin would see Goku crawling out of the hole, and Goku was, of course, pretty badly wounded, and Goku says, if you think I'm done, Krillin, we're not ready yet. And then Krillin and Goku would start fighting each other, even in base form, both of them so exhausted, as their punches were stunning each other nearly. Krillin would then throw a punch as Goku does as well. Both men would then collapse as they were both tired. The announcer would crawl out of the dust, and he would start counting to 10. As both of them would start standing up, Krillin unfortunately was 1 second too late, and he collapsed as Goku was standing, barely. And he held his hand up in victory, as then he collapsed as well because he was tired. But then, after giving them a senzu bean, helping them out, they fully recovered, and Goku would shake Krillin's hand, and he was so proud of how strong Krillin's actually become. He definitely wants to do this again sometime. Now, because Goku got pretty badly wounded fighting Krillin, he got his Zenkai buff. But we'll discuss that in a moment, as Goku would be in shock looking at his hands, seeing how strong he's actually become. And we'll discuss how strong he got within the 5-year time skip. And Krillin knows that he now has to continue pushing himself if he wants to catch up to Goku and keep up. This would also push Tien and maybe even likes of Yamcha to continue training. Now, Yamcha did kind of fall off on training a little bit. Didn't really do it as much. Tien is also pushing himself because he sees how strong Krillin could become. He wants to learn that buff form power as well. Even Yamcha wants to learn it. And while Krillin's not a master at it, he says it'd be better if we all learn under Roshi again. And they agree. So, Goku would still get married to Chi-Chi, and they would still have Gohan. And life will continue on for the next 5 years. By this point, Raditz would still be telling Vegeta and Nappa about his brother, the fact that, of course, he's on Earth. Vegeta and Nappa tell him that, of course, yes, if you fail, though, then we're going to kill you. And, of course, Raditz is terrified, he has no choice. He would then head to planet Earth. Now, once when he heads here, he would then sense that there are some high power levels. I would say around 300, maybe even 400, maybe higher. Now, of course, the Earthlings are suppressing their power levels as they learn that they could do that. He would head over to Master Roshi's island. As Goku still arrived on Nimbus, carrying Gohan, and everybody introduced themselves. Krillin is there as well, and the others. And, of course, with Bulma, Roshi, and the others, Raditz would then arrive. He would explain to Goku who he is, what Goku is as a Saiyan, more. And he explains that you failed to take over this planet. So he gives Goku one chance. If I see 100 bodies on this island, then you can vow your allegiance to Frieza and blah blah, the usual dialogue that he had. Now, one difference here is when Raditz goes to kick Krillin. I still think he would get the jump on Krillin. The reason why is because they underestimated him at first, as he even got Goku by surprise. So I think when Krillin was hit, I don't think it would hurt him that bad. I think Krillin would instantly jump back up and is ready to go. Now, Piccolo's nearby. He is watching as well. Piccolo's been training himself, but that's on another time. As Goku would then challenge Raditz right then and there. But now, of course, they would then fight off a few miles away from Roshi's island, near the other islands near the ocean. Similar to where Piccolo fought 17 at. As the two of them would then go at it. Now, how strong is Goku? How strong did Goku get? Well, I could either make Goku insanely godly OP, or I can make him insanely under OP. In my opinion, I'm going to put him near the power of Raditz. Because remember, he didn't really do anything in 5 years. The Zenkai carried him. And even by then, Goku would have gotten a 2 to 3 times Zenkai. You have to understand power scaling back then in the early Dragon Ball is different. And I don't want Goku to one-shot every person, because then the what-if's trash. It's boring. He's not Saitama. Maybe that'll be a cool what-if to do one day. But Goku's power level is around 1,200. He's able to keep up with Raditz and actually throw hands with him. But Raditz does have the slight edge over Goku being at full powers over 1,500. This is when we would have Krillin step in, and Krillin would actually bulk up in size, as Raditz's scouter reads out that Krillin's power level is at around 800. Then we would also have Piccolo jump in, and Piccolo is also pretty strong as well. I would say Piccolo's gotten a lot more powerful since then. He's trained more harder, so Piccolo's power level is at around 600 plus. And they would all continue fighting Raditz. Now Goku, he's still Goku. He wants to fight Raditz by himself. He wants to see if he can beat him alone, so they don't jump in. And Krillin even tells Piccolo, try not to do any sneaky tricks or else I'll kill you myself, and Piccolo says, you can try. And Piccolo says, if Goku loses, I have a technique. Something that can kill him, but it takes some time to charge. And Krillin says, fine, we'll work together this one time. Krillin also has Solar Flare, mind you. We'll touch upon that. As Goku's fight with Raditz was intense. Raditz does have the slight edge over Goku, and I think Goku would have been pretty much knocked down. Now, I think Gohan would have seen this, and this is how everybody sees Gohan's strength. Gohan would get angry, he would then actually charge at Raditz and actually hit him in the chest, severely wounding him. This would give Goku the opportunity, as he doesn't have time to waste on Raditz. As Raditz would then grab Gohan, and he was ready to kill Gohan, this is when Goku would then appear, charging a Kamehameha, as he appeared in front of Raditz, charging the attack, and would hit him. Goku used after image. And Raditz was completely annihilated by the attack. Raditz's body would then land with a hard thump on the ground, and Raditz was dying. He wasn't going to survive. And the wounds were too fatal. Because remember, Raditz was already weakened severely by Goku fighting him. Imagine Gohan's power level shooting up over 1,000 plus, hitting him square in the chest. By the way, with no body armor, because him and Goku's fight tore his body armor off. So Raditz is just bare-chested, so it pretty much shattered his lungs. So Raditz was cooked. And the Kamehameha pretty much sealed the deal. But now, Raditz would then tell him how there are two Saiyans stronger than him. They will avenge him and come for the boy. As Vegeta and Nappa hear how strong Gohan was, that's interesting to them. That's one of the reasons why they also went to Earth. Not because, just as the Dragon Balls too, but also because of half-breeds. Half-breed Saiyans are more powerful as well. And they would begin making their way. But now, of course, this changes the story. Number one, Goku doesn't die. So, what would happen? Well, I think Goku would get a Zenkai, of course. Now, he's still wounded for a short period of time. There's no sensu beans around. He would then recover over the course of the next couple of days. After recovering, they would then all catch up at Kami's lookout. Now, of course, Piccolo is nearby. He's just ore farming. As Goku states that, well, we need to get as strong as possible. What can we do? As Kami would then think to himself, he states, well, there is one way. The Room of Spirit and Time. Now, whoa, Major Dragon, what about King Kai? Well, this what if? Goku's not going to King Kai's world. He's not going there. So there's no Kaioken, there's no Spirit Bomb, which means Goku's going to have to figure something out. And now, of course, Kami would then explain that the Room of Spirit and Time is ready, and we can step people into it. Remember, they have a whole year to train. So I think that Goku and them can definitely get strong enough to where they could. So who would go in there first? Well, I think that Gohan maybe with Goku. But I don't think so. I think Piccolo would want to go in with Goku personally. And they would agree. But now Kami explains that there's only a few uses of the Room of Spirit and Time before resources run out and the door needs to be sealed up again. So take your pick wisely. And of course, Goku would then look around and he would explain, well, who should we go with? As Goku was thinking to himself, he would then say, I'll go with Piccolo. This is also a way that Goku can also keep Piccolo around, keep him in check. And in turn, he would then ask Roshi and the others if they can train Gohan, if it's possible. And when Goku does step out with Piccolo, he'll of course train his son. And they say, yeah, sure, no problem. They'll start teaching Gohan the basics. They'll be a lot nicer than, of course, Piccolo was. Child abuse. But Goku and Piccolo would then step into the Room of Spirit and Time. It was harsh. Goku told Piccolo that he came in here before, years ago, but he only lasted about a month. As once when they walked past that, Piccolo then collapsed. And Goku would collapse as well, because of the 10 times gravity of that of Earth. As they struggle to then stand up, Goku says, this is going to be hell, but we need to work together, Piccolo. No funny business. And Piccolo says, fine. Now, mind you, Piccolo doesn't really need a lot of resources. He just needs a lot of water, and he's fine. He doesn't need solid foods, so everything's cool. So then the two would begin their training. It would be weeks for them to get adjusted just to the gravity. But then, as the months pass, they get used to it to where it doesn't really affect them no more, and they would continue growing stronger. Now, they were able to stay the full year inside. Now, okay, Major Dragon, will Goku unlock Super Saiyan? Would he get Super Saiyan because, his SL count's so high? No, he's not getting Super Saiyan. And they do have a few sensu beans. One thing to note is while they were fighting and Goku was severely wounded, when he eats a sensu bean, Piccolo realizes something. He notices Goku get a pretty decent Zenkai buff. Now, of course, they're not fighting to near death, but they are fighting to wound each other pretty bad. He then notes on how every time you fight, you get stronger. That could be something to do with you being a Saiyan. Maybe you adapt to something. And so when they do step out, Goku is, of course, much stronger. It was harder for Piccolo because Goku was teaching him to try and help him keep up with Goku. So it was more of Piccolo training than really Goku, but Goku Zenkai's carried. Now, how strong are they? Well, Goku trained under 10 times gravity for about 3 months. He got around 18.8 times stronger. If you really wanted to, Goku's power level, mind you, was, of course, over 500. How strong is he now? Because remember, he had a little Zenkai with Raditz. He then, on top of that, has a few Zenkais and he's fighting Piccolo. On top of the fact that he also trained in the Room of Spirit and Time. So, how strong is Goku now? Well, in my personal opinion, we're going to put Goku's power level at 50,000. 50,000. Piccolo's power level is around 35 to 40,000. Then they would have enough time to get the other Earthlings in there, aka Krillin, Yamcha, and the others. As Yamcha unfortunately could not go in there, it'll be Krillin and Tien, because Yamcha's too OP, he doesn't really need the Room of Spirit of Time anyway, as Tien and Krillin would actually step in. And they only have one more use. As then, Piccolo wonders, why don't we just step back in there? And Goku says, nah, that'll be overtraining it. We already pushed ourselves to our limits. You don't want to overwork yourself. You wouldn't get much stronger. Piccolo even agrees. As then, the day would then pass. Krillin and Tien would then step out. Both much stronger. Krillin's power level is at around 30,000 to 35,000, similar to Piccolo. Tien's power level is actually nearly the same. He's around 30,000. So they are all much stronger. And they have their buff forms. Now, one thing too, could Goku ever learn the buff form ability? It is realistically possible, but we've never seen a Saiyan do it. We know that they kind of can, because with Super Saiyan, they were able to bulk up and go Ascended. But, of course, that's Yin and Yang. That's a Super Saiyan, not normal human form. It does seem possible that they could learn this ability, but I want to make it special for the humans, so only humans can do it. A Saiyan cannot adapt their biology like that. Now, with Super Saiyan, they could. So let's just keep it for the humans. Maybe it's a secret technique that only Roshi can use for humans. Only some humans can use it, and that's, of course, is Tien and Krillin. Now that they both have the ability, especially Tien, they can utilize the full power of it, and they have better control over the power. But, of course, it does drain stamina. They can't use it forever. But they would then spend the next year, Goku would realistically train with Piccolo and train with Gohan. The big thing was training Gohan, getting him stronger. Since Goku's such a good teacher, or Piccolo barely teaches anybody, he's only a couple years older than Gohan, you would also have to look at Goku is the best teacher that Gohan could ask for. He's a great mentor. He's learned a lot. He has a lot of teachers. Gohan would be pushed by Piccolo, but also nurtured by Goku, so Gohan would become a little bit more powerful than the original. I would say Gohan's power level was at around 2,000, maybe 3,000. When the Saiyans do arrive, Nappa and Vegeta, they do have Cybermen. Of course, we know how this goes. Now, Yamcha's power level is not as much of a run slide. Yamcha wouldn't die to the Cybermen, as Gohan can actually fight multiple Cybermen by himself. And Krillin and Tien dispatch them with a single shot with ease. Now, Vegeta's nervous, because when he taps his Scouter, seeing how strong they are in just their base forms, this makes him shit himself. He would then tell Nappa that they don't have a choice. Nappa says, I know what you mean. So before the Earthling should attack them, Vegeta would then tell Kakarot and the others that they're all dead. As he would then throw up the fake moon. As they would then begin to transform. Because Vegeta did not see the moon, he doesn't care, out of desperation. So Nappa's power level is now higher, being, I'd say his power level was at around 4, I'd say his power level was roughly around 4,500 to maybe 5,000. His power level was at around 50,000. Vegeta's power level was, of course, 180,000. 160 if you want to say maybe he was tired, it drained his energy a bit, but it doesn't matter. 106,000 is OP, as now they're in big trouble. Now, of course, they know about the Great Ape form, so they saw Gohan transform into it. They know that we need to remove the tails or somehow destroy the moon, but it wouldn't work. So they said we need to destroy their tails somehow. So this is when Krillin and Tien, they would then go into their buff forms, of course, increasing their power, being stronger than actually Great Ape Nappa. As Krillin does have an idea. Vegeta's the one they got to really worry about, but they can all gang up on him if they take care of Nappa first. So Goku and Piccolo, of course, being the strongest, they would try distracting Vegeta. And Goku would actually get the upper hand on Vegeta using a solar flare, while Tien and Krillin actually handle Nappa. This is when Krillin would then distract Nappa, because Nappa's a hot-headed idiot, and punch his face, actually stunning Nappa. All the while, Tien would then appear behind him, and he would then fire a Dodon Ray right into Nappa's eye as he turned around. Of course, Nappa was stunned. Krillin would then use the ability to fire a Kienzan, or Destructo Disc, and it would cut off Nappa's tail. Nappa would then revert back to normal, where Tien would not waste any mercy. He would have fired a Dodon Ray, killing Nappa, and Nappa would have died, as they don't want him attacking all the while. Now, with Vegeta, they all have to team up. As if they all team up, they can hold Vegeta back. So Goku says, we need a plan, and Krillin says, I got an idea, and it says, distract him for me. And so Goku would try to blind Vegeta, but Vegeta already saw them do it. He covers his eyes, and then while Krillin tries to hit Vegeta with a Kienzan, Vegeta would then slap Krillin away. You really think I already saw you do it on Nappa? It's not going to work on me. And then we would see something happen. As then Gohan looked at the fake moon, he begins to transform. Now, of course, Gohan all the while, his power level would be around 30,000, being in a Great Ape state. Of course, it's nothing to Vegeta, as Gohan would then charge past his friends and start hitting Vegeta. Now, of course, it doesn't really do much to Vegeta, but he does push Vegeta back. This, as Vegeta would then start beating on Gohan severely, he got too arrogant, he wasn't worried about those Saiyans, he got too caught up. This is when we would see his tail be destroyed. As he would then revert back to normal, he was of course powerless against the Z Fighters. Now the Z Fighters are tired, they are badly wounded, they are exhausted from fighting. Everybody is. As Gohan also reverted back to normal as well because the moon was destroyed. This is when we would have Goku walk over to Vegeta, who, remember, Goku's still wounded. Vegeta would start fighting Goku. Now, even though Goku was weakened against Vegeta, Vegeta has no chance. He can't match Goku's power. Goku's still above him. Goku would give Vegeta a warning. As Vegeta would then land defeated, he says, what are you waiting for? Just do it. But Vegeta was terrified for his life. As Piccolo was ready to kill him, Goku says, no, let him go. I want to show him what mercy means. As Vegeta would then crawl away to a space pod, but they do trust Goku's judgment. Vegeta would then say, you'll regret sparing me, and he would then leave, heading off to go wherever. Now, they never discussed the Dragon Balls in this scenario. This means that Frieza would never theoretically come to Namek. He would head to Earth. But we'll discuss that in a moment, as would Frieza really have a care? Not really. As you got to think about it, Frieza has no care to go to Earth. Okay, Vegeta was defeated. Well, that sounds like a skill issue. That's his problem. Didn't really matter. Frieza doesn't really care about it. He leaves it alone. Frieza's not a fool. Why would he go somewhere where maybe Great Ape Vegeta was defeated, who's above Ginyu? Why would he waste his time? They don't really care about him. Goku's not going to go hunt him. So Frieza minds his own business. And Vegeta, by this point, he would have recovered, and maybe he would have even killed Zarbon and Dodoria. That would, of course, bring the Ginyu Force. But we'll discuss that in the next one. Now, Vegeta is a big troublemaker for Frieza's backside because Vegeta has just done some diabolical things. As we know, Vegeta was just defeated by Goku and the rest of the Z Fighters. Now, this was humiliating defeat, but Vegeta is now stronger because of it, as Vegeta's power level is, we're going to say, roughly the same. It was around 24,000, where I do think he still would have killed Kui and Dodoria, because Vegeta is on his demon arc and he still is kind of tired of being pushed around. When Vegeta has the power to do so, he will do it. But now Zarbon would still confront Vegeta, maybe on planet Frieza 79. As Frieza is out traveling, Zarbon would actually defeat Vegeta. Now Vegeta would get the upper hand first, as Zarbon was not in his true form. He would even tell Vegeta that Frieza also has the ability to transform as well, shocking the prince. Zarbon would then transform into his true form, a monstrous creature, and he would overwhelm Vegeta. But he would spare the prince as he sees that he still has use. Zarbon doesn't realize that Saiyans get stronger the more they're wounded. They grow stronger. So when Vegeta fully recovered, and Zarbon was watching over him, Vegeta would attack Zarbon and defeat him this time. Now, of course, this would get Frieza's attention, as he can tell that, well, I guess Vegeta's gone rogue. So what would happen to Vegeta? Well, Frieza would not go after Vegeta personally. He doesn't see Vegeta as a waste of his time, but he is impressed how he did defeat Zarbon and Dodoria and Kui. Impressive. So Frieza would then send out the Ginyu Force to go hunt Vegeta down. And so Vegeta is not a fool. He knows the Ginyu Force is after him, and so this is when Vegeta would then flee. As on planet Frieza 79, the Ginyu Force would then arrive. As Frieza's men were trying to stop Vegeta from leaving, the Ginyu Force was already here. Now, of course, they're going to take turns attacking Vegeta, and first was Guldo, and Guldo would, of course, get killed by Vegeta, but then when Recoome steps up, this is when Vegeta gets overwhelmed. You guys gotta remember, Vegeta's power level is roughly the same as the original. It wouldn't make sense for his power level to change much. So Vegeta is getting overwhelmed by Recoome, although he put up a good fight. Captain Ginyu's getting bored. He says, Recoome, hurry up and kill Vegeta. And Vegeta was getting overwhelmed. He was severely wounded. And this is when Vegeta, out of desperation, he remembers something. That technique that the Earthlings used. The solar flare technique. Now, Vegeta doesn't know if he can do it, but what other choice does he have? He then puts his hands as he copies what the Earthlings did and yelled out solar flare, and it actually didn't work. As Recoome would then laugh and state, "Ew, what was that? Are you trying to do like a cool light flash or something?" He would then kick Vegeta away, as Vegeta needs to do it right. He would then try it one more time when Recoome grabbed him, and it worked. The solar flare technique blinded not only Recoome, but the Ginyu Force and everyone in the surrounding area. As they were all blinded and they can't see, Vegeta would see this as his escape. He would then flee. He would flee into the ship and zip off, as it takes about a minute or two for you to recover, and they see that Vegeta's long gone. He put that thing in hyper mode, he is out, and the Ginyu Force is irritated. But they state that he's severely wounded, and if he goes to any of Frieza's planets, where that's the only place where he can get good recovery, we'll track him down and kill him. So there's nowhere where he can really go. They'll track him soon enough. Now Vegeta, while he was still conscious, he then rips his hand into the wires and removes the device tracker and dumps it out, as Vegeta does not want to be tracked. But this does cause stabilization issues for the pod. Now Vegeta is fleeing. He would be able to make it pretty far. It was a few days travel, but then the space pod started running out of juice, and he started to crash, as Vegeta would then land on a strange planet. Now on this planet, he would then see these strange beings surround him, and then everything would then go black. As Vegeta would then awaken, he was bandaged up, and he was actually almost fully recovered, but he was still weakened. As he would then walk around, some of these beings would then surround Vegeta and bring him to their leader, and it was the Yardrats. The Yardrat people were here. Now, they knew that he was related to Frieza and the Ginyu Force. The Yardrat people know about him. And so Vegeta here would then look around in amazement as, why would they save his life? Now, Vegeta, you gotta understand, normally he would just kill them all and get out of his way, but he's weakened right now, and he doesn't want to cause attention on himself. The Ginyu Force is after him. But luckily, they don't see where he is just yet. As then, after meeting the Yardrat people, they would explain who they are, and they would give Vegeta some new clothing, which looks foolish on him, but he has nothing else to wear. His armor is practically just rags and tattered cloth, so he has nothing left. So he doesn't really have a choice. So Vegeta would then begin to learn under the Yardrat people, as they teach him balance, teach him how to balance his spirit. As they could tell that he's done bad things, but they're not going to judge him for it. He has a chance to balance his spirit, good and bad. And I think this would bring Vegeta more enlightenment. I think this would kind of calm him down. So Vegeta is not as, aggressive. He's not as crazy because his spirit's more calm and he can see more clearly. Now, would Vegeta learn instant transmission? Well, funny thing is, you guys have to realize, Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super actually can use instant transmission, as he trained with the Yardrat people for a few days. Some people seem to forget, though, that Vegeta's potential is actually way higher than Goku's because he's a royal bloodline. Goku is a lower class Saiyan. Now, of course, Goku does have good genes because of Bardock. Bardock is absurdly strong. But Vegeta's whole bloodline is bred to be the royal king, so he does have higher potential than Goku. He just never capitalizes on it, and he never knows how to train correctly. Goku is a genius in that department. But we've seen that Vegeta can catch up to Goku quickly, and when he's training under the right people, he's even able to surpass Goku multiple times with fast ease. So, Vegeta actually learned how to use the instant transmission just for his first try. So, would Vegeta be able to use it? I'm going to say yes. Vegeta would be there for weeks, and they would teach him how to use the instant transmission technique. It was very difficult, but he does have a pretty good handle on it. It's not perfected yet, and he can't go too far, but he now knows how to use it whenever he's in severe danger. No, he's not going to learn spirit fission and things like that. I don't think they're going to teach him those techniques, but they did teach him how to balance his ki. So Vegeta is actually much stronger because of this training. And on top of that, the insane Zenkai that he also got on top of this. As Vegeta still gets his Zenkai like any other Saiyan. Not like Goku in this What If, but he does. So Vegeta is now much stronger, and the Ginyu Force would soon arrive. Now Vegeta actually has some form of sympathy for these people. He can tell that they're weaklings, but they did save his life, and they taught him and made him stronger. He does respect them in that regard. So Vegeta would actually tell the Ginyu Force to not destroy this planet and fight him only. And they mock him how, oh, you gone a little soft for life? And Vegeta says, no, I just wanted to fight you on my own. And so, by the way, the Yardrat people can fight, it's just they have incredible techniques, but Vegeta's going to fight them first. But now when Recoome steps up, they make a fatal mistake. They don't realize how much stronger a Saiyan gets when he gets his Zenkai. And by the way, just a clarification, Vegeta does not have Super Zenkais. He just has natural ones. They were getting insane Zenkai buffs in the Frieza saga anyway, as Vegeta went from being overwhelmed by Recoome to, within a few hours, being able to fight Final Form Frieza with a few Zenkais, so that's a separate debate. But now Vegeta here, when he battles Recoome, he's different. He's sharp, precise. He's not holding back. And they would then see their scouters spike as Vegeta would then clash with Recoome and defeat him easily with a perfect strike to his stomach, defeating Recoome. They were in shock. How did he do that? As they saw their scouters spiked and overloaded for a moment, but then now it's back to a power level of 30,000. What happened? How did he do that? Vegeta would then smirk at them, saying that he's been waiting for this day, and that they are fools for doubting him. As then Ginyu would then send Jason Birder after him. Now both of them tag teaming Vegeta. Vegeta was struggling a little bit, but he was able to manage. And he would then see that they do work very well in unison, but they're foolish, so Vegeta would not waste any time. Vegeta would then fly in and deliver a powerful kick to Birder, and when Jace tries to punch him, he dodges the attack, letting them do their own damage, and Jace would actually punch Birder in the face. This is when Vegeta would then laugh, as he would then shoot Birder into the air and do his dirty fireworks technique, severely wounding Birder as he collapses. As Jace was in shock, Vegeta's not wasting any time, as he would then fire Ki Blast. Now these two little Ki Beams, they would destroy their scouters. Now they can only track with their eyes, and that's what Vegeta wants. As Vegeta would then slam a Ki Blast down, remember Vegeta can sense energy, Vegeta would then cover it all with dust, as they can't see. This is when Ginyu would then hear Birder getting back up, but then he hears Jace scream as he was being defeated. As Ginyu tries going over there, he sees that Jace was killed. Same with Birder off in the distance, and he can't see. This is when Vegeta would then appear, as Ginyu out of desperation is firing Ki Blasts in every direction, and he would then see Vegeta appear, gut punching Ginyu, launching him through the mountainside. As Ginyu would then get up, and he explains, that's a solid punch, but I'm still stronger than you. As, while it may be true, Vegeta's power level at this time is roughly over 100,000. Ginyu is slightly above Vegeta, but Vegeta's not going all out just yet, and we'll see that in a moment. They're pretty much evenly matched. As Ginyu does see that Vegeta could be superior to him, he would then try his Change Now technique, but Vegeta would dodge it, as he wouldn't drop his guard like how Goku did. He would then hit Ginyu, As Ginyu was shocked, this is not the same Vegeta. What did they do to him? He's precise. He's very balanced. He's in full control of his own actions. Vegeta before was just a wild dog. He would just jump on you and attack you. This Vegeta is precise. He's sharp. He's almost like a bullet. As Vegeta would deliver powerful strikes to Ginyu, who just can't keep up. Vegeta's already predicting what Ginyu's going to be doing, as Ginyu fights for an amateur. As Ginyu would then go full power, he would then fire his purple attack at Vegeta, who was caught off guard by it, and it would damage him pretty good. His top G would be torn off. But it was a pretty bloody fight, and seemingly either side was going to win as they go back and forth. But Vegeta would then get the upper hand, as while Ginyu would try his change now technique one last time before he could get the word out, Vegeta would then form a ki blast and shove the ki blast in his mouth, and it would explode Captain Ginyu from the inside out. And it was bloody. But Vegeta would then stand in victory, as he would then collapse out of exhaustion. The Yardrat people would then scatter back out and take Vegeta and heal him, granting him another Zenkai because, of course, he's strong. Now, this would also put Vegeta at the level of First Form Frieza, like in the Namek Saga. So Vegeta's OP. He's way stronger now. He can go to Earth and destroy Goku and them if he wants to, but I don't think he would do that. Because you gotta think about it like this. While Vegeta is confident that he could probably take on Frieza, he's not an idiot, as he can sense energy. He knows that he can maybe take on Frieza, but he remembers that Frieza can transform. He doesn't know about it. He doesn't know about how strong Frieza is. He's never seen it, and that's scary. Now, Frieza, when he hears the news of the Ginyu Force being defeated, does not like that. So this is when I think Frieza then takes it personally. This is a problem. So he would then go after Vegeta himself. And he was then heading not towards Yardrat, as Vegeta had to leave, or else Frieza will destroy this planet. Vegeta only knows one other place to go, and Frieza will still take a few weeks for them to get there. This is the only option. As Vegeta would then actually thank the Yardrat people, he then stops himself saying that it's disgusting. He would then leave, as he didn't want to say thank you, but he did. And he then leaves the planet heading towards Earth. As, wouldn't Vegeta just go to Earth and kill them all? No. Remember, Goku showed Vegeta mercy. And while it did destroy his pride, Vegeta realizes that if it wasn't for Kakarot, he wouldn't be able to get as strong as he was. And because Kakarot's the one who started the whole journey. And he needs Kakarot. For now. Maybe after when Frieza's killed, they'll have their rematch and he will win. But we'll touch upon that in a moment, as Vegeta would then head to Earth. I would roughly say within a few weeks' time, he was able to make it. Now, Frieza is not too far behind. Frieza is about a week or two away, which is not a lot of time to train. But Vegeta has a plan. As then, when he does arrive on Earth, the Z-Fighters then step out. They see Vegeta in some strange outfit, and Vegeta would, of course, smirk and say, well, I see everybody's here again. Now, of course, mind you, Goku would then try and fight Vegeta. We know how that would go. Vegeta would not even block his attacks. His punches do no damage to Vegeta, which is shocking. But yes. And of course, now Goku is very powerful, mind you. His power level was 50,000-60,000 at this point. Yes, he did get a Zenkai buff. Not a big one because he wasn't too damaged. But yeah, Vegeta is still, I'll roughly say Goku's power level is over 100,000+, but Vegeta is 400 to 500,000. He's still above him. Not for long. Now, Vegeta notes on how Kakarot has unnatural growth. And he explains everything about Frieza. He's heading here and he's stronger than both of them combined, potentially, and that they need to train and get stronger. Now, they could use the Room of Spirit in time, but unfortunately, it's not ready. Popo even says so himself, that the room is not ready, the door is being worked on. And so Vegeta would then stam himself, as Bulma does have a cool idea. She says that her dad was working on some gravity thing. As they would then go to Capsule Corp, Vegeta also made it known that he's not going to destroy them yet. He says that there's bigger fish to fry, and that's Frieza. After Frieza's killed, he's having his rematch with Kakarot. And so Goku would agree on it, as they have no choice but to work together. So when they do arrive to Capsule Corp, they would then look at the gravity machine that Bulma's father made. And this gravity machine can go up to 100 times gravity, which was impressive. As Vegeta says, good, this is perfect. And he says, Goku says, well, we can get stronger quickly because we have sensu beans. Remember, Goku never went to Namek, so he does have a handful of sensu beans that Korin did make, as he never went to Namek to train for yet, so they still have them. Now, Vegeta and Goku would begin training in the gravity room. Piccolo would, of course, also jump in there as well, as he can keep up with them. And even the Z Fighters are also doing it as well. Now, Krillin does have another way to get stronger. As while he does keep up with them in the gravity room, alongside with Tien, they all can't fit in there and fight. So how are they going to get stronger? Well, Master Roshi does have something that could help them. As Roshi does need it anyway, he brings them on a little errand list. As they then go to the Hidden Lands to then find the herbal plant that actually granted Roshi basically eternal life. Now, of course, Roshi can still die due to, of course, natural death. He can still be beaten to death or things like that, but sicknesses and aging doesn't affect them. But that's not the point that Roshi really set them in there. The biggest point was how they unlock their inner selves and they grow stronger. We saw Krillin do this when Krillin broke past his fears and he unlocked almost enlightenment to where he became superhuman. Krillin became much stronger because of it. And it's the same thing for Tien, as he has his own demons too. When they both go in there, their power rises. As it's not exactly them getting physically stronger, it's their inner spirit rising. And that also increases their natural power. So they are now stronger than before. Much stronger, but we'll touch upon that in a moment. As Vegeta notes on how Kakarot has unnatural healing abilities. They saw this when Goku was severely wounded by Vegeta. Vegeta's not going nice. He nearly kills Kakarot in their fight in the gravity room, and Goku then takes a sensu bean. The power-up that Goku gets from this beating that Vegeta gave him is a big one, folks. Goku, at this point, had a power level of around 100,000 now because of the Zenkai. This is when we're going to start getting a little bit crazy. Goku would look down in shock. Same with Vegeta, as his power level has skyrocketed. His power level shot up much higher. Goku's power level was roughly around 100,000. He already got a small Zenkai for fighting Vegeta. Goku got way stronger. His base power level is now 10 million. He got 100 times stronger. Now, mind you, the last Zenkai he had in the Namek saga was 33.3. 33, if you want to continue on. But this one is over 100 times, and he's a little bit stronger than before. And Vegeta was in shock, as he then looks and he says, something's different about you. He then thinks about it, as his eyes widen. He says, woman, take Kakarot's blood now. Now, of course, Goku hates needles, but they were able to get his blood in. Vegeta even looks at it with Bulma, having a cute little scene together. You can see the spark of their relationship. And Bulma would then look at Vegeta's blood. Goku's natural blood, when it adapts to damage, is infinitely times higher than even Vegeta's royal blood. And Vegeta then realizes, that damn fool. He would then tell Kakarot what he means. He remembers his father speaking about the Saiyans working on a secret serum that could overwhelm the adaptability ability for Zenkais, and they were going to use this to then give it to the King Vegeta or even himself, so they can get stronger and overtake Frieza. But it went missing, and then the planet was destroyed. He then says that your father, Bardock, as remember, Vegeta does have the space pod. Vegeta looks through the database and he does see Bardock. He says that he was a brilliant scientist. He says it makes sense. Bardock must have stolen it, and then he gave it to you. As Goku never knew about his father, he never knew. And Vegeta says, do you know what this means though, Kakarot? You can grow stronger and stronger infinitely at rates that we've never seen before. We just saw it. And Goku says, well, what does this mean? He says, this means, even though I hate it, I'm going to hurt you a damn lot. as Goku already is absurdly OP. On top of the fact he can also stack Kaioken. Or so we wish. I got you there, didn't I? As unfortunately Goku's base power level is around 10 million. If he had Kaioken, he would actually be able to overtake Frieza pretty easily, since he'd be even stronger than he was as a Super Saiyan. But unfortunately, there's no Kaioken. So unfortunately, there's nothing that really Goku can do for now. This is when Vegeta then states that we need to try something then. As Goku says, what does he mean? Vegeta out of nowhere would then fire a Ki Blast through Goku's stomach, shocking everybody as Goku then collapses in agony. And he tells Vegeta, why did he do that? And Vegeta says, shut up and eat that damn sensu bean now. And so they would quickly give it to Goku, who would then swallow the sensu bean, and he would then recover as it would heal the fatal wound. And Goku would then look down at his hands again. He's way stronger. His base power level is over 100 million now. And Vegeta says, God damn it. And he says, it makes sense. So you get stronger every time you're severely wounded. But now there was only one sensu bean left. And Vegeta says, we're going to have to save it. And Frieza's going to be here anytime now. Frieza came faster than they expected. Vegeta expected at least a few more days. But Frieza is determined, so he would actually go full hyperspeed towards Earth, and he would arrive within a few short minutes as they would then see his ship in the sky. Now Vegeta, by the way, has gotten a lot more powerful as well. Do not sleep on Vegeta. Vegeta's power level is pretty high. He's nearing 1 million because of the gravity training, but I'll touch on that in a moment. And he did also get a few Zenkais training with Goku. Remember, they used all the sensu beans, so it wasn't just Goku, it was actually Vegeta getting stronger too. As then, Frieza would then arrive with a lot of his men, thousands of them. As Frieza would then send his men, of course the Earthlings would then all fly in. Krillin and Tien were cooking the Frieza soldiers, alongside with Gohan and Piccolo with absolute ease. As Piccolo's absurdly powerful, his power level is well over 100,000+, and I also think Piccolo would also do some other things as well. I think he would also fuse with Kami. I think he would do it early because of how strong Frieza potentially is. And if he did fuse with Kami, Piccolo's power level is in the millions. In my personal opinion, I think that when Piccolo fused with Kami, yes, there's no Earth Dragon Balls, but they'll figure that out afterwards. As Popo says to not worry. Piccolo, how strong would he get? Well, we know that Piccolo was actually comparative to a Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyan Vegeta level, when he fought the androids, and we saw how easily 18 beat him. At least a 2x buff. But of course, power scaling is different. Kami didn't really increase Piccolo's power much. Piccolo was just complete, so it was like another half. So, Piccolo, in my opinion, I'm going to put his power level at, just to be nice, at around 1 million. So he's similar to how he was when he fused with Nail. But he's also fully complete now. Piccolo had no choice out of desperation. Gohan's power level is roughly around 10 to 15,000. And of course, Krillin, Tien, and them, their power levels in base form is around 100,000+ because of their spirit being enlightened. On top of the fact that when they transform, it's over 200,000 because it's around a 2x buff, so they do get stronger. And they're cooking the Frieza soldiers. 20s of thousands of them have no chance. They're being defeated. This is when Goku and Vegeta would then step up to Frieza. Now Vegeta's gotten stronger as well. Already talked about it. Over 1 million+. Vegeta's OP. So when Vegeta does step up to battle Frieza in his first form, he actually manages Frieza pretty easily. Now he knows that Frieza can transform, he might as well do it. Because Goku's keeping his power level hidden, they know that Goku can potentially beat Frieza. He sees how strong Kakarot is now, how much he hates to admit it, they don't have a choice. But now when Frieza transforms into a second form, the fight is intense between him and Frieza. Vegeta's able to hold his own. Surprising Frieza, as remember, Vegeta, of course, had the Yardrat training, he's still OP. Now, Frieza would not go into his third form. I think he would skip it, and even if he did go into his third form, I think Vegeta would still be able to manage. And when he goes into his final form, that's when we would start seeing Vegeta get overwhelmed by Frieza, and Goku would then step in. Now, this means that Vegeta is alive, so he isn't killed, and Frieza's soldiers were practically all handled. The Z-Fighters would have defeated them all, and that would have been the end of that. Now, as for Goku, Goku would then step up to Frieza and challenge him outright. Now, Frieza can't sense energy. Of course, his Shrouder's destroyed by this point, as him and Goku would then go at it. Now, Goku notes on how Frieza is very powerful. Goku's power level is around 100 million, if not a little higher. But now, of course, he is fighting off Frieza pretty well. Frieza, of course, is not going all out yet. They're testing each other. And Frieza would then go to 60% of his power, but Goku would overwhelm Frieza pretty easily, delivering some powerful attacks, knocking Frieza down. Goku would then tell Frieza to not hold back and to go all out. And Frieza would exactly do that. This is when Frieza would then go 100%. As at 100%, he would then swell his muscle size and he would then go attack Goku. And the two of them would then clash. Now, Frieza is stronger than Goku initially, so he is overwhelming Goku. And Goku is struggling to keep up. He has a lot more techniques than Frieza, which does help him. But we see that Goku is getting overwhelmed. As he was then knocked down, Goku's tired after fighting Frieza. Goku was then knocked away into the rubble, as Goku was pretty badly wounded. Now, they did have the one Senzu Bean, but Goku doesn't want to use it because he wants to save it in case it's a severe fatal injury. Because also, he doesn't really like the Super Zenkais. He doesn't like it. He sees it as a cheat. That's just how Goku's character is. As Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, Gohan, and even Vegeta, but Vegeta would say no because he's, Goku then says that he has a plan. As Piccolo says, I don't care what your plan is, take the damn Senzu Bean now. And Goku was kind of forced to. He would then look and see that the Senzu Bean was destroyed. It was crushed. And Piccolo would then punch the ground in anger. What are they going to do? And Goku says, I got a plan, but it's pretty stupid. And he says, just trust me, okay? Goku would then charge in as he would continue attacking Frieza. But he was yelling at them to give him their power. And of course they would. Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, Tien, Yamcha. Even though Yamcha's too OP. If he gave him all his power, Goku would be stronger than Zeno at that point. But, he's being like negative 0% of his power. As Goku was getting much stronger, he was surviving Frieza's attacks now. But Frieza still had the upper hand. He would then yell at Vegeta to lend him his power right now. As it would be the same scene with the Broly movie in Dragon Ball Z, where Vegeta would not do it, but then Goku tells him to. Vegeta finally, as Frieza is absolutely annihilating Goku, punching the heck out of him, Vegeta would finally give his power, and Goku would then get the power up that he needed. Goku would then grab Frieza's fist, as now his power level has shot up past 150 plus million. And Frieza's already getting tired now. His power level's dropping from 120 to 110 to 100 million. Goku was just weakened. Now that Goku has his power buff, he would then charge in at Frieza and overwhelm Frieza. In their matchup, Frieza would then fire his final attack right at Goku. And Goku would then fire his own Kamehameha as the two beams would then clash. As Goku would then put everything that he has into it. The Z Fighters have little to no energy left, as they already gave Goku the majority of it. But Frieza was not backing down. But Goku would then put everything that he had into the attack, pushing it back, and Frieza would lose. He was losing stamina too fast, as Frieza would meet his demise. Frieza was completely incinerated, leaving nothing but ash. As Goku would then collapse, as he was happy that they beat Frieza, and everybody was badly wounded. Everybody would then recover in the Capsule Corp hospital. And it would take about a week for them to fully recover, as there's no Senzu Beans. But once when they do, of course, Vegeta does want a rematch against Kakarot, and I think they would do that. But Vegeta sees that Kakarot's above him. Vegeta cannot match his strength. And the sad part is, Goku just got a lot more stronger as well. He just got another Zenkai, and because of that, because of him getting another Zenkai on top of that, I was laughing, is because Goku now, his power level was around 100 million. It went up to 150 million because he got his friend's energy. But now jump it up even higher. His power level, now after getting a Zenkai, is even higher than ever. How strong is he? Well, I would say his power level, at this point, this is lowballing him, is around 300 to 400 million. So he got around 4 to 5 times stronger. Now, if that's the case, he's already seriously OP. As Vegeta could not match his power, Goku's getting too strong. Now, by this point, nothing too much would happen. The next few years would go down. Trunks would still arrive from the future timeline, as Trunks, again, does have things to say to Goku. He would find Goku and see that things are different. He also notes on how strong Goku actually is. It's kind of scary. He would then show Goku Super Saiyan, and this would shock Goku as he's never seen that power before. And of course, Trunks would explain it, and Goku would then power up and show how strong he is without it, shocking Trunks. Trunks says if you unlock Super Saiyan, you would be unbeatable. And Trunks would explain how he unlocked it. It's with severe rage. And so Goku would think about that. As Trunks would explain everything about the heart virus, he explains everything about the androids, the heart virus, when it's happening, what's the time. Now, Vegeta, he still had his romance with Bulma, and Vegeta actually flew back out into space. He flew back out into space after seeing that Super Saiyan power. He wants it. With the power of a Super Saiyan, he can beat Kakarot. As Vegeta would then fly off to his own thing, Goku and Piccolo and Gohan would then train for the next 3 years. As Goku was more or less training Gohan and Piccolo, he wasn't really training himself. That's why he didn't get that much stronger. So that would kind of go down. He wouldn't really get that much stronger. Maybe a few million more. It wouldn't really matter because he's so broken. As when the 3 years do pass, Goku does arrive. And yes, he still succumbs to the heart virus. But he does fight off and kill Android 19 because of how strong he is. And Dr. Gero was still able to escape. Now, mind you, wouldn't the androids be stronger? Because we have a much stronger version of Goku. Well, Dr. Gero stopped his research, you guys would remember, he stopped his research at around the Saiyan saga. While yes, the Earthlings and Goku were a little bit stronger than the original, the androids wouldn't really change too much. You also gotta remember, technology-wise, he can only push the androids so much. So yes, in my opinion, the androids will be a little bit stronger, but not so much to where it's like a oh my god difference. If the androids had a power level of, let's say, 400 million, such as 18 and 17, I would say their power levels will be roughly around 450. And I'm just throwing a power level out there just to kind of tell you. Because past this point, power levels don't matter. So, Dr. Gero would still be able to escape as they're worried about Goku falling down to the heart virus. Now, Piccolo has already fused with Kami. Oh, another thing to note, Piccolo would have also traveled to planet Namek and also bring back Dende, so they do have Dragon Balls as well. So because of this, they would then head towards Namek and get Dende, bring it back. They still have Dragon Balls, so everything's good to go. Now they would then bring Goku to Master Roshi's house, where Goku was recovering with the help of Chi-Chi and the others, just like the original. Vegeta would still show up, be cocky as ever, fight 17 and 18, who are now activated, and while Vegeta is stronger than the original, I think 18 would still break his arm and defeat him pretty easily. Now, what about Piccolo? Now, Piccolo was already superbly strong, so he would actually fight the androids right then and there, and he would be able to fight 17 and hold his own. Even though 17's a little bit stronger, Piccolo can hold his own, and they both go at it. Now, what about Cell? Well, Cell will still appear from Trunks' future timeline, just like before, and he's still here. So yes, Cell's still here, he's still doing his thing, and he's looking for the androids. Now, of course, he can sense the high power levels, so he is heading his way over there to then absorb the androids and become perfect. So our story last ended with Piccolo battling Android 17. Now, he is fighting Android 17 a little bit early, because Piccolo is already absurdly strong. Imagine if he's with Kami on top of that. So Piccolo is absurdly powerful, being able to fight 17 really well, and being able to push the android back. Now, I think that when they realize that 17 is actually on the losing end for a little bit, Piccolo would lose in the final bout. Why is that? It's because they don't realize that the androids have infinite stamina. They can continuously fight non-stop. So while Piccolo holds his own very well against 17, and at the start, he actually gets the upper hand, 17 would outlast him in terms of stamina and energy. So Piccolo would have been defeated, but 17 really respects Piccolo, but they don't kill Piccolo or the other Z fighters. They actually spare them, and they just leave. They're not as evil as the other androids were. Even Trunks would have noticed that. So Vegeta, realizing his L, would leave off with the Room of Spirit and Time. Most of the events will pretty much go the same, as Cell is still searching for the two androids who are doing their own thing. They're not destroying anything, they're just traveling around with 16. Trunks and Vegeta would have then went into the Room of Spirit and Time. Now, we know that this is a full 24 hours. So what would happen during that time? Well, I think Piccolo would then recover and he would go battle 17 again, wanting a rematch, as Piccolo notes on how he needs to just defeat one of them, try and take him out. Why? Because he just fought Cell, and he notes on how dangerous Cell is. So two things should happen. Piccolo goes to find the androids. He finds them on the nearby islands. And 17 is ready to throw hands again because he thinks that Piccolo's a fun battle. And Piccolo's telling him to stop, that there's somebody trying to hunt them down and absorb them. But it was too late, as Cell would have arrived. Now, if this is the case, Piccolo and 17 did not fight at the island, but they were more dialoguing, as he was trying to get them to understand how dangerous they were in. Cell would have found them because he sensed Piccolo's energy, and Cell would have went there faster. So Cell would have found the androids. Now with a fully healthy Piccolo versus 17, they actually get the upper hand on Cell. Now, of course, 17 just rushes right on in. Foolishly, Piccolo has no choice but to rush in as well. Now, also, would 16 also step in? Potentially. But one thing I could see happening is Cell would still do his deception. He would still yell out Solar Flare, blinding all of them, and being able to absorb 17. Thus would make second form Cell. This is where I see Piccolo would then tell 16 and 18 to get away, as Cell would absolutely overwhelm Piccolo and knock him down in their match, nearly killing him, but 16 and 18 were able to escape. Now, Piccolo is severely wounded. What are they going to do? We would have the legend himself, Tien. Tien would still do his Tri-Beam attack, this time in his buff form, which increases power by 2 times or more. So the attack does stun Cell for much longer, giving Krillin and them enough time to get Cell far enough away. Now, Tien was able to also escape, so now Cell lets him go, as he's more focused on fighting 18, who's on one of these islands somewhere. So he then spends hours trying to find the android so he can become perfect. This is when Vegeta and Trunks do arrive, and the fight pretty much goes the exact same. Now, would Cell be stronger? Not really, because 17 and 18 were a little bit stronger, but not a huge standard that would really change the outcome of a fight. So you could say that maybe Cell's a little bit stronger because he absorbed a stronger 17, but it's not by much. Vegeta would still outclass him in their matchup. He also has more motivation because of Kakarot being so powerful, and now he feels like he's surpassed him for now. So Vegeta would go into his Ascended Super Saiyan form, or Super Vegeta, and with this power he was able to overwhelm second form Cell. But unfortunately, Vegeta makes one of the most foolish mistakes in the show of Dragon Ball. He then lets Cell absorb Android 18. Krillin would also not blow up Android 18 because she's, a baddie. But it's also because Krillin doesn't see that they're really evil, so he spares them. Now, of course, that's bad because then Cell sees them. Vegeta allows Cell to absorb Android 18, becoming perfect. And this was a foolish mistake, because Cell having both androids, Cell's pretty much similar in strength to how he originally was, not too much stronger. It wouldn't make much of a difference, as Cell would overwhelm Vegeta with ease. Now, Vegeta does seemingly get the upper hand using a Final Flash, but it does damage Cell, but he instantly recovers. Now, one thing, would Cell have Super Zenkais? No. Cell already has Zenkais already. He can just blow himself up and recover and get stronger, but no. Goku is the only person who has a Super Zenkai ability. Goku, no other character has Goku's ability. It's just Goku. So, Cell would of course overwhelm Vegeta, and he would fight Trunks, who would go into Super Saiyan Grade 3, but the bulky muscles slowed him down and drained his stamina. Cell was too fast. But Cell would then spare them and offer them 10 to 11 days to train for the Cell games. Now, Cell already has his trauma already, because for some reason during his training and during his building of the arena, for some reason they're all circles, and one of them's green, one of them is green, one of them is green, as he's panicking in his mind. He doesn't understand why. He's fixed the arena like 8 times. Why is there a green square every time? So Cell's already doing his mental training, as you guys can tell. Now, during this time, Goku would recover from the heart virus. He wouldn't really get a Zenkai from it, because it's not really a physical injury that really attacked him, as he didn't really get one anyway, from what we saw. As we didn't really see him get much stronger since then, he even said himself that Cell would defeat him easily, as he would then tell Gohan that they need to go train. So him and Gohan, just like the original, would step into the Room of Spirit and Time. What some people don't realize also as well is Goku was really training Gohan for the majority of the Room of Spirit and Time training. He was getting Gohan ready. Now, mind you as well, Goku doesn't necessarily have Super Saiyan either, so what are they going to do? Well, Goku needs to learn how to become a Super Saiyan. Now, Goku's a genius when it comes to learning. He knows what it'll take to unlock it. He saw Vegeta has Super Saiyan, Trunks has Super Saiyan, his S cell count is really high. So would he unlock Super Saiyan? Yes, during the year, I definitely think he can. If he was able to push Gohan into unlocking Super Saiyan, Goku can definitely do it. He just has to really put himself in a scenario that makes him angry enough to unlock his S cells. Not as much as he would originally need during the Namek Saga, since it's been many years since then, but Goku, during the early parts of the Room of Spirit and Time, he was able to push himself and unlock Super Saiyan. Now he wants to learn how to master it and control it. So he would then teach Gohan how to do it, and they both trained for the year, learning how to better control Super Saiyan, how to go in and out of the form, and everything else. Goku would not have enough time to master Super Saiyan, as, mind you, that took a whole year just for him to learn how to master it. But they would start to get the early phases of it. I think Goku would just stay in Super Saiyan as much as he possibly can, as he didn't do it during the 3 years, which I always found was strange. Why didn't he just stay in Super Saiyan to master it? But I think he didn't realize a technique or a practice like that until later on. So I think he would still do it. So they would have Super Saiyan pretty much down pat, and it is much more controlled than even the likes of Vegeta and Trunks. Now, what about Goku Zenkais? Well, Goku did get wounded as well when he fought Gohan, and Gohan is very adaptive. Gohan's potential is absurd, with the fact of him training against his father, who is much stronger than Gohan. Gohan gets stronger the more he fights as well. Not of the likes of Broly, who's a freak of nature, but Gohan and Goku really bounce off each other. Goku with his Super Zenkais, and Gohan with his insane potential. We would really see both pushed to the max. So, let's get to the talk. How strong is Goku? When Goku steps out, they would all get ready, they would rest for the next couple of days, and go to the Cell Games arena. Goku would step up first to go fight Cell, and Goku would be in Super Saiyan. Now, Goku would then revert to base form. You heard me. And Cell wonders what he's doing, and Goku says, I want to have more fun fighting you this way. I'll use Super Saiyan if I need it, which is a little bit of disrespect to Cell, but him and Goku would then go at it. As Goku was holding his own in base form. Mind you, him and Gohan were fighting in there for over a year. Gohan, at a point in time, was able to adapt and hurt Goku multiple times throughout that year, and Goku would recover and get Zenkais because of that. So yeah, Goku is absurdly OP. Now, Goku's base form is able to actually keep up with Cell. Goku's power level is as strong as he was when he fought Cell as a Super Saiyan, shocking everybody with how strong. Even Vegeta was furious. As Goku would power up to full strength, he was able to match Cell, but he knows that Cell is holding back, and he would tell Cell to go all out. And Cell would. Cell would then go to 100% of his power, shocking everybody. As he's multiple times stronger, he would then start to overwhelm Goku and destroy the arena in the process, so he then removes the rules, as he's having too much fun fighting Goku. Now, Goku seemingly was overwhelmed, as he would then smirk and stop Cell's fist, as Gohan was smiling the entire time, proud of his dad, as, of course, every son is proud of a strong dad. Gohan knows that Goku has this. Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan, shocking everybody with his power. Now, how strong is Goku? Well, Goku as a Super Saiyan, mind you, he's already near Cell's level of power, a little bit weaker. I would say about half Cell's strength. On top of turning Super Saiyan, which is a 50 times buff in strength, it's kind of absurd. He is easily, very easily, in the realms of Majin Buu level as a Super Saiyan. Now, by Majin Buu, I mean Fat Buu. And I would say Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Majin Vegeta plus, and he's in the realms of Fat Buu level. So he could give a good fight to Fat Buu, maybe beat him. Probably not, because of Buu's natural durability. We'll touch upon that in 7 years. As Goku would absolutely dominate Cell in their matchup. Now, Goku's not going to spare Cell, as, mind you, he knows how dangerous Cell is. He was ready to kill Cell anyway. So Goku would then, out of desperation for Cell would then charge a full power Kamehameha. Would Cell blow himself up? I don't think so. Now, what will else happen here beforehand is Goku would then deliver a powerful punch to Cell's stomach, forcing Android 18 to come out, and there Krillin has his wife. Now, Cell, out of desperation, would he try to blow himself up? Yes, but Goku wouldn't allow it. Goku's not like Gohan, who's messing around. He's serious. Goku would waste no time and charge up a full power attack. Cell has no choice. He either fires his own or he dies. Cell would try firing his own Kamehameha, but as we all know, it is absolutely futile. Goku's blast completely overwhelms it with ease, and Cell's engulfed, and he's killed, wiping Cell out of the face of the earth. Now, since that's the case, Goku never dies. He never goes to the other world. He never learns about Super Saiyan 3 yet. He never learns about the fusion dance. He doesn't know anything about that. Now, of course, this would change up the story, since now that Goku is actually around, Gohan's training would be even better, because originally Gohan kind of slacked off because Goku wasn't around. There was peace for 7 years. Vegeta was always training. That's how he was able to surpass Gohan. And he even mocked Gohan for going soft. Now, why didn't Piccolo make Gohan train? I don't know why. But Goku's there. While I do think Gohan would focus on studying more, Goku would still make Gohan work out and do training, balancing it out, father and son time. And I think that would allow Chi-Chi to be okay with it, because there's Goten. Goten's just like Goku, wears Chi-Chi down, so she just kind of gives up on it. They're his sons after all. So Goten is absurdly powerful as well. People doubt on Goten's potential with how strong he really is. He's a really wasted character. Goten has some of the best genetics. You have to understand, there's a stronger version of Goku with Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi is, other than Android 18, she's the most powerful female on the planet, with some of the most insane genetics. She's not really even human, she's Ox. So that's the reason why Gohan's potential is so high, on top of the fact that Goten's even higher because of more S-cell counts. So yes, Goten will still unlock Super Saiyan by the time he's about 6 or 7. And he would be far above Trunks in terms of power. Goten is absurd. In my opinion, he's stronger than Android 18 at this time, who, remember, she struggled to fight both of them at the same time because the relative power to Frieza is Super Saiyans, and both of them were tag teaming her. But Goten is able to actually beat Android levels. Now, is he up there with like Cell or something like that? No, I don't think so. I highly doubt it. He's in the realm of Android 18, 17, and maybe 16, so he's absurdly strong. Another thing as well, Android 16 is alive, but basically he works at Capsule Corp for security, and Gohan has a new friend that they hang out a lot. So 16 is basically, he pretty much handles security, and she completely rewritten his data, changed the bomb from his body, same with 18, so they're good to go. So during this time, Gohan is pretty much the same strength, maybe a little bit higher. He has Super Saiyan. Does he have Super Saiyan 2? I don't think so. I think he needs a lot of rage. Now, he would still go to Orange Star High School and then meet Videl. Now, of course, would he become the Great Saiyan Man? Yes, because Great Saiyan Man has drip. He's a goat. So he, of course, has to go. He's the greatest of all time. So they would still arrive for the World Martial Arts Tournament. Of course, Goku's not dead, so he's here permanently. So he's not stuck for 24 hours on a time, thanks to Baba. Now, they would still meet the Supreme Kai. Now, Spopovich and Yamu would still take Gohan's power, while Gohan was fighting Kibito. Or, you could have Gohan... Now, we're going to swap up the story a little bit here. How do they take Gohan's strength? Gohan transforms into a Super Saiyan 2 for the first time. How does this happen? He watches Spopovich beat Videl nearly to death. And that angers Gohan so bad that when he rushes into the ring and sees Videl's nearly killed, it snaps and Gohan transforms into a Super Saiyan 2. With that, power is absurdly high. Of course, Gohan was about to kill him, but Yamu snuck up from behind, and Supreme Kai allows his energy to be taken. So Gohan does not fight Kibito. He has his energy stolen. They then use this to then track down Majin Buu. Now, when they find a ship, Vegeta kills Pui Pui, Goku defeats Yakon. Relatively easy. Now, what about Babidi taking over Vegeta's mind? It wouldn't happen. Why is that, Major Dragon? Well, simple. Vegeta is already content. The reason why Vegeta was so angry having a midlife crisis and he was angry was because he only had one more chance in his mind to fight Kakarot ever again before he goes back up to the afterlife, and he's gone forever until he dies. Vegeta felt he was overshadowed, he had his one chance, and he saw how the Majin control made them stronger. But he knows, even with Majin control, he could not fight Kakarot. They've already fought dozens of times. Dozens of times. Since Goku was alive for the past 7 years, he's only been getting stronger in training, on top of the fact that when him and Vegeta do fight, maybe the first time Vegeta fought him, he can manage himself really well, but every time he hurts Goku and Goku recovers, he gets a huge Zenkai, he only gets stronger. And we would really see that. So, Vegeta accepts that Kakarot is the best. He's number one. He respects that for now. So when Bobby does try taking over his mind, he would reject it. And we know this is possible because we saw this in Sparking Zero. He was able to reject it. And he even said himself that he could have rejected it if he wanted to, but he accepted it. Now Bobby is panicking. He then sends Deborah out, and unfortunately for Deborah, he would have been killed. Now, one thing to note, would Majin Buu have enough energy? Realistically, no. But for what if fun purposes, we're going to say that Gohan, remember, he did keep his training up. Gohan is much stronger than the original. While yes, he still studied, he still trained. Gohan even said himself that if he trains a few times, he can get much stronger and keep himself from getting rusty. We even saw this in Dragon Ball Super, but that's different power scaling. But still, I think that Gohan as a Super Saiyan 2 with the Rage boost on top of that, you gotta remember that, when Gohan gets a Rage boost, his power is multiplied multiple times more on top of his own power. We saw that when Gohan fought Cell and so on. So that was just enough power to revive Majin Buu, and it was enough to then bring Fat Buu to life. Fat Buu was then brought back, Majin Buu, and it would have been intense. Gohan would, of course, defeated Deborah pretty easily, since Gohan is much more stronger than him. And what about Majin Buu now? I think Vegeta would step up as a Super Saiyan 2, transforming, fighting Fat Buu. He would lose. While Vegeta is stronger, a little bit stronger than the original, he's a little bit relative to Majin Vegeta, but not too much. He would have still lost to Fat Buu. Fat Buu was too broken. And now it was Goku's turn. Well, Goku would then step up, and he would then battle Buu. Now, Goku is a Super Saiyan, mind you. His base form was enough to battle Super Saiyan Vegeta, if not higher. But Goku's holding back a lot. Goku's gotten so much stronger during these 7 years, it's kind of ridiculous. Because when Vegeta steps up and grows stronger, during their first match, when Vegeta trained for a few years and he fought Goku again, they were similar in power. And their battle was very close. Vegeta nearly beat Goku and nearly killed him in their matchup. But Goku won, and his recovery was insane. We'll touch upon that in a moment. So Goku as a Super Saiyan is easily overwhelming Fat Buu with ease. But he sees that Fat Buu's not really evil. He's just naughty. He doesn't know any better. So he turns Buu on Babidi, and Babidi is killed by either Buu or Piccolo himself. Now Buu is now free. Goku tells him to do no evil deeds, and Buu would then leave. He would still meet Mr. Satan, because Mr. Satan has powerful energy power. Because he's Mr. Satan. He just made that up. But it sounded good, though. And of course, he makes things up anyway. But he has the ability, pretty much, he knew that there was a pink monster around. People talked about it, because Buu did kind of kill people, turn them into plaster, and made a home. But Mr. Satan heard about it. He goes after Buu, tries to kill him. Of course, he spares Buu because he's omnipotent, but they become best friends. Now, the same scene would happen. He's killed by the sniper who kills him and B, the dog. Buu would snap, switch into evil Buu. We know what happens. Fortunately, evil Buu overtakes good Buu, turns him into candy by blowing the beam back on him, turns into Super Buu. Now Super Buu wants to fight Goku again. The Fade is remembering in his head. So he goes to go catch another Fade. He goes up to Goku. He goes to battle Goku. And unfortunately, Goku, would he be able to match this version of evil Buu? No. Super Buu here is a little bit too strong for Goku. Now Goku within Super Saiyan 2 is able to match Super Buu a little bit. His abilities and his healing would overwhelm Goku, and he would nearly kill Goku in their matchup. As who would go in and save him? It would be Vegeta and the others. They would all step in to try and battle Super Buu, As Goku was landing on the ground, he was badly wounded, he couldn't move. Buu was ready to absorb him and take his power, but they stopped him from doing that. This is when the Supreme Kai then finds Goku, and he would then heal him. And Lord have mercy when he does. Goku would then step back up, and he would then look at his hands in shock with the power boost that he has gotten. He is so much stronger because of what Buu did to him. It is ridiculous. This is his biggest Zenkai jump yet. Goku would then stop Buu from absorbing, from trying to absorb his friends. He would then tell him to step back, and he's got this. As it took a lot of energy for the Supreme Kai to heal Goku, but he did. Goku would then stare at Super Buu and challenge him once more. Goku, just in Super Saiyan, rivals that of Vegeta in Super Saiyan or more. This means when he battles Super Buu, he is absolutely annihilating him. Now, he tells everybody to get far away, so it's just him and Buu. Buu would try to absorb Goku, and Goku knew this. So he would form a ki barrier around himself and travel through Buu's body, finding Good Buu, removing him, thus having Kid Buu. Kid Buu would then begin attacking Goku. Of course, Kid Buu's even weaker than Super Buu, so unfortunately, Goku would kill him. And he wishes that Buu would come back as somebody good one day. And, of course, we would have Oob. So the Buu saga would have ended much faster. Goku got an insane Zenkai. Now, the events of Dragon Ball Daima do play out a little bit differently. It's just Goku's much more powerful. Now, we don't know how strong Super Saiyan 4 Goku is in the events of Dragon Ball Daima. Now, in my opinion, he probably is above the likes of Vegeta, maybe? Because you have to understand one thing. Even though it has a lot of plot holes, if Daima is canon, Goku even thought about Super Saiyan 4 in Dragon Ball Super. And he notes on how that wouldn't have beaten Beerus. Because he even said that even fusion wouldn't work. So Super Saiyan 4 has to be in that ballpark, or if not higher, maybe even lower. But either way, Super Saiyan 4 wouldn't have worked against Beerus. Of course it wouldn't. Now, would he unlock Super Saiyan 4? It's maybe not. Because he doesn't even have Super Saiyan 3 yet. Now, you could say that maybe his potential is so high, he just couldn't get past the barrier. So when Neva unlocked his inner potential, Goku unlocked 2 new forms. As we see this when Goku fights Goma, he goes Super Saiyan 3, which is overkill already. Super Saiyan 3 is a 4 times buff. Is 2 times Super Saiyan 2, and then it's 2 times Super Saiyan, and then Super Saiyan 3 is 4 times Super Saiyan 2. It's a 400 times buff to his base form. Goku would have absolutely annihilated Goma, and Goma's continuously growing in power, but Goku would then say that his ceiling is not done rising, as he would then charge up and go Super Saiyan 4, which is absolute overkill. He would have defeated Goma easily within the 3 strikes to the back of his head, defeating him, and there would have been the third eye, but no one cares about it. Goku's too OP. Now Vegeta's angry that Goku surpassed him again. Now we don't know too much about Daima, of course they're going to come back with it, but that's a later on what if. What about the events of Battle of Gods? Now, with Battle of Gods, Beerus would have still woken up, having dreams of a god, a being that could challenge his own power. And he also thinks about fish. Now, Beerus would, of course, see that Frieza was defeated by a Saiyan, and he's interested. He would see that Goku is on Earth with everybody. They were all celebrating Bulma's 38th birthday party. Now, when Beerus does arrive, before he fights Goku, he does want to try out some of this Earth food. It smells amazing. He has a great time. Now, when Buu battles Beerus over pudding, I think Goku would snatch some pudding before Buu would see it and give it to Beerus, who of course enjoys it, stopping a major crisis from happening, as Beerus is the most petty creature ever. As now, Beerus wants to fight Goku. Goku's so interested to fight Beerus, he sees how strong he is. Now Goku would charge up full power in his base form. His punches don't do anything to Beerus. Beerus is dodging him with these. Super Saiyan, Beerus blocks simply with his hand. He admits that the Saiyan is really powerful, but if this is it, this is not a god. Goku will go Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, and Super Saiyan 4. Now, Super Saiyan 4 piques his interest a little bit. Goku is near the power of a Super Saiyan god, if not higher, and that piques his interest. But it's not God Ki, though. It's not it. He does sense a hint of demon magic, but not God Ki. So Goku would actually hold his own pretty well against Beerus, but he would do worse than he does as a god, because he can't sense Beerus, so he has to track with his eyes, and Beerus is too fast. So Beerus would overwhelm Goku and defeat him. The match would be a lot shorter than he would originally as a god. Beerus is pretty satisfied, but he wants a god. And so they would gather all the 5 Saiyans. Videl and Pan are included because Pan's half Saiyan, or third Saiyan. And that is enough to give Goku the power of a god. Goku as a Super Saiyan god, how strong is he? Well, God is stronger than Super Saiyan 4, so Goku is above the levels he originally was, which means he's a few times stronger, or maybe even more than that, than he was as a Super Saiyan god many times. And he would give Beerus a great battle. Beerus would have a good time. Of course, Beerus is way above Goku in strength. Goku's not even there yet, not even close. And Beerus would, of course, commend Goku. As Goku loses the power, Beerus would spare Earth, as he already fought a Super Saiyan God level character. Then he fought, in my opinion, maybe even Super Saiyan Blue level at that point, and he's ready to, go back and take a nap. He had fun. Now, this would also mean that Goku and Vegeta would still go on Beerus' world, and they would begin their training. Now, would the Frieza arc happen? It's hit or miss. If he still wanted to happen, Frieza would have a rough time. He would still unlock his golden form, and when he does step up, Goku has Super Saiyan Blue. This version of Goku is many times stronger, because he would have gotten a Zenkai from Whis, or maybe fighting Vegeta. Mainly Whis, because Whis is so much stronger than him. Whis notes on how this Saiyan is special and how he can get Zenkai so much. So Goku is pretty broken. So Frieza would have zero chance. I think he would even fight Vegeta first, honestly, because Goku would pretty much defeat Frieza within a few punches and defeat him. So Vegeta would actually step up and have a much better fight against Frieza. He is stronger than the original because he's fighting a much stronger Goku. So Vegeta would overwhelm Frieza, and he would not spare Frieza any mercy. I think Frieza will still be able to blow up the planet, but Whis reverses time. Goku kills Frieza, taking Vegeta's thunder, but that's normal. Now, during the events of Universe 6 versus Universe 7, Champa would still challenge Beerus for the Super Dragon Balls, whose fighters are the best. Now, Beerus is very cocky. He has a secret weapon, and who is that, you might ask? Goku. Goku is hundreds of times stronger than his original self, so unfortunately for Champa, when the tournament does happen, it plays out very similar. Frost would still poison Goku and knock him out of the ring, since Goku wasn't expecting it. His guard was dropped. Now, of course, Frost was then caught for cheating. Vegeta knocks him out of the ring. Piccolo did fight Frost, and he was poisoned as well. That's how Jacko noticed it. So when Vegeta fights him, knocks him out. Vegeta still fought Vegeta and Kaba. Pretty much played out the same. It's just Vegeta stronger, so he could handle Vegeta a little bit better. Kappa goes the same. He wasn't trying. Now, against Hit is a bit interesting. Now, Vegeta lost a lot of stamina due to jumping in and out of Super Saiyan Blue. I know that's a manga and TV show difference, but either way, Vegeta was still tired. And also, they'd never seen Hit's abilities before. I do think that it would take multiple hits for Vegeta to actually go down. And in the TV show, when Vegeta actually was about to land a punch on him, Hit stopped him. This time, I think Vegeta did land a hit on Hit, my name. And it shocked everybody. But Vegeta was still delivered a fatal blow, and he was knocked down and defeated. But Hit was surprised that he actually scraped his armor and actually hit him. This is when, of course, Beerus is cocky. Beerus sends out his final weapon, which is Goku. There's no Monaka because he's too OP anyway. He can one-shot Zeno, for goodness sakes. So when Goku steps up to go fight Hit, Goku, of course, is battling in base form. He figures out his time skip. Hit's punches, of course, do pretty good damage against Goku, since Goku is, of course, not full power. When he goes Super Saiyan Blue, he dominates Hit in their matchup. He's many times stronger than he was when even in times 10, even if he times 50 Kaioken, on top of that version of Goku, the original, it wouldn't have mattered. That version of Goku's stronger. Hit has zero chance. When Goku figures out his time skip, he dominates Hit, showing how outclassed he is. Hit would try doing his deadly techniques, but Goku would punch him right out of the ring in a single strike and defeat him. Now, since Beerus won, Beerus would still use the Dragon Balls to wish for Champa's Earth back, so Champa can enjoy the cuisines of Earth. Since that is the case, we're now going to jump forward into the Goku Black arc. Mind you as well, Goku would have still met Zeno and become his best friend. Goku would have still hung out with Zeno on his world, and Zeno would have still give him the Zeno button, which is a really OP card to use. If Goku's ever in trouble, he can just summon Zeno and say, hey, can you erase that guy? That guy's mean, which is really OP. Goku has an infinite glitch card. So, the Goku Black arc will play out very similar in the start, with Trunks, of course, jumping back and forward in time, arriving to this timeline, explaining what's happened. Now, Beerus is not very happy because Immortal is using time, which is illegal. Can't do that, but carry on. Goku Black will still have the time ring. He would still be able to jump to this timeline and battle Goku. Now, Goku would not be in Super Saiyan 2. He'd be in base form, and he would be fighting Goku Black. They weren't really fighting all out. They were kind of testing each other. And before the fight could get serious, Goku Black was then pulled back to his ominous future timeline where Trunks went. Now, of course, by this point, they would then start suspecting stuff. So originally, they found out that Zamasu was the culprit because when Goku went to the timeline and came back, when they lost, what would happen here? Well, that's also when Goku Black also finds that version of Zamasu and turns him evil, because that Zamasu saw how strong Super Saiyan 2 Goku was and why mortals are so strong. That wouldn't happen this time. The reason why is because when they first go, Vegeta, Goku, Trunks go to the future timeline the first time, Goku Black will be killed. Because Goku Black doesn't realize how strong Goku is. I think Vegeta would still fight Goku Black first, and he would stab Vegeta, nearly killing him, but Vegeta's still alive. Goku would then battle Goku Black. Even though Goku Black is in Super Saiyan Rose, Goku in Super Saiyan Blue would absolutely annihilate Goku Black. Annihilate him. This version of Super Saiyan Blue Goku is hundreds of thousands of times stronger than his original self. Goku Black has zero chance. Goku would have completely annihilated him with a single Kamehameha, erasing him from history. So Goku Black is killed. This means that he never was able to jump after this first fight. When they went back the second time, that's when Zamasu appeared. Because Goku Black turned him. Because Zamasu fought Goku when he came back. It's a confusing time thing, but there's no Zamasu, which means he'd never wish for immortality, which means Trunks' timeline, although it's jacked up, is safe. Trunks never unlocks Rage Super Saiyan form. He never unlocks that. Goku and Vegeta then go back to their timeline. Now, one thing you could note is maybe since Trunks is still super weak, maybe Vegeta or even Goku offer to train Trunks in the Room of Spirit and Time. I think maybe even Vegeta would. So when Vegeta and Trunks, maybe they train for a day, and because Trunks' timeline is safe, Goku Black is killed. So Trunks has time. So Vegeta would take Trunks to the Room of Spirit and Time for maybe a year, teach Trunks, and Trunks would then step out a new man. Maybe even Trunks has Super Saiyan God. That'll be cool. And it is possible Vegeta can maybe give him God Ki or teach him how to unlock it. And Trunks is absurdly OP. Let's give Trunks Super Saiyan God, because why not? And now he's absurdly powerful. He's able to match pretty much almost any foe in his way. Trunks goes back to his timeline. Things are peaceful. Now, Goku never needs to pull out the Zeno button because they didn't need to. Zamasu did not cover the whole universe. Now the events of the Tournament of Power. Goku would still be down to do it. It's the same Goku. The Tournament of Power setup would go the exact same. Goku would still fight Toppo, and he would overwhelm Toppo pretty easily, not even needing blue, which is overkill. Even God is enough. And Toppo would still note on how this Saiyan could rival, maybe even beat Jiren in terms of strength, as the gods are terrified of Goku's power with how strong he is. Goku is rivaling a God of Destruction's power, if not surpassed it by this point, with the Zenkais that he's gotten, how much stronger he's getting is kind of absurd. So when the Tournament of Power does set up, some of the fights go differently. It's just Universe 7 is a lot more stacked. They would still get Golden Frieza. They would still get 17, 18, and there would also be Android 16, who would also replace Majin Buu. And Android 16 is even stronger as well. As, note, he is more android than human. That is true. But he's still trained. He still trains and gets stronger. 17 said so himself, even 18. 16 is still training, getting stronger. And Bulma is also fitting him with even better parts, as it's been many years since then. So 16 is a lot more advanced. He is many times stronger as well than the original, as he, in my opinion, he's at least 10, 20 times stronger. He probably rivals Cell in terms of power. 17 and 18 are above that, especially 17. I don't know how he got stronger than a blue level character, but who's to question superpower scaling, right? As the biggest threat is Goku, so Belmont would then send Jiren after Goku first. as the Goku vs. Jiren fight would play out a little bit differently because Goku in base form would push Jiren back a little bit. Super Saiyan 2, 3, we would even see 4, then God, and then Blue. As a Super Saiyan God, he's actually evenly matched with Jiren, and he pushes Jiren to unlock his limit-breaking power. Now, their fight alone is destroying the whole arena, knocking out dozens upon dozens of people. Also, Universe 7 is stacked. You also have Earthlings, mind you, who has not stopped training. Roshi, also seeing Krillin and Tien get stronger, and Goku, he's pushed himself even further as well, mastering his buff form. And that's what the Earthlings have done. They've mastered their buff power to where instead of a 2 times, it's a 10 times increase in power, and it's mastered. It does no stamina drain at all, and nor does it hinder their movements. It makes them faster. So Krillin, Tien, and everyone, they are OP. So Krillin's able to hold himself much better, and they're training harder than ever. Krillin, while he did settle down a little bit, he's still training intensely this version of Krillin. He's not slacking off like he did. So yeah, they're OP. They're insanely OP. So they're knocking out everybody. The only people who are a threat is honestly Universe 6 and Universe 11. And Anilaz is the only other major threat in the other universe, but other than that, everyone's getting knocked out. Vegeta would have defeated Toppo by unlocking Blue Evolution. I think he would have unlocked that on his own. And everybody's cooked. Goku's still battling Jiren. The fight is intense. Now when Jiren goes Limit Breaker, he overwhelms Goku, and Goku then goes Super Saiyan Blue. With the power, he is able to defeat Jiren and knock him out of the ring. And so Goku is the winner. Now Universe 7 would win in the end, and Gohan is as the team leader, then makes the wish to wish all the universes back, and everything's good. If they made any other wish, Zeno would have destroyed everything. He said so himself, even by the Grand Priest. Now things are peaceful. What about the Broly movie? Well, Frieza was still given his life back as Whis brought him back to life. So Frieza would then still find Broly. He would then use Broly and Paragus to attack Goku and Vegeta. Now, of course, Goku handles himself much better against Broly, whose power surpasses that of Jiren in terms of strength, and Goku as a Super Saiyan God is able to overwhelm Broly. Frieza still turns Broly into a Super Saiyan by killing Paragus, and Chi-Lai and Lemma finally get the Dragon Balls. Broly snaps, turning Super Saiyan, battles Goku as a Super Saiyan Blue. Vegeta can't do anything by this point, and they don't have fusion. Now Goku as a Super Saiyan Blue is getting actually pretty much fought pretty well against Broly, but Goku is stronger than him at first, but Broly is just non-stop getting stronger. So Goku would then go the next step. Goku has a power he's been saving. Now, Goku would then close his eyes and control his energy. It's not Blue Evolution. As Goku would then open his eyes, he absorbs the power leaking from Super Saiyan Blue and becomes perfected Blue Goku. This power surpasses even that of Blue Evolution, shocking Vegeta, but the downside is it does damage your body over time. You can only hold it for so long. As it was an intense fight, Goku dominates Broly in their matchup, similar how Gogeta did, and Goku would then charge up a full power Kamehameha. Chi-Lai would still make the wish, sending Broly back to planet Vampa, and things were put back to normal. Now, the events of Moro arc would be a little bit different. I think with Goku battling Moro, and with the help of Miras and the others, would Goku also get a pretty good Zenkai? Of course, because he fought Broly too. So Goku's many times way stronger as well. On top of this, he would either defeat Moro before Moro could do anything, because Goku is able to use the Hakai ability. He used it against Zamasu in the manga, but let's just say that, well, Goku could even unlock Ultra Instinct at this time. Maybe beam clashing with Moro pushes Goku beyond his limits. He actually taps into Ultra Instinct for the first time and overwhelms Moro with ease, but it's not perfected yet. And with the help of Miras and the others, he's able to grow stronger. So Goku now having Ultra Instinct, because remember, Goku's so much stronger than the original. His body's able to hold Ultra Instinct much better. He's just a little bit behind like he was in the tournament. But Goku was able to adapt Ultra Instinct and use the power as he's so outclassing Moro. Moro would get overwhelmed and he was killed by Goku, as Goku had too much power for Moro to absorb, and he would implode himself. And so Goku was then the winner. Now, the events of Gas and Granola would go a little interesting, as the thing with Granola is he cut his life force really short by wishing for power. Now, unfortunately, the stronger the person, the shorter your life force is. So if Granola did do that, he would turn into gas. And what I mean by this is gas aged super fast and looked like a bag of bones before Frieza killed him. So, realistically though, unfortunately for Granola, while he battles Goku and the others, and Goku's learning to master Ultra Instinct at this time, but not there just yet, he's almost there, then we would have Granola be defeated by them, and then Gas was also killed by Black Frieza. Now, Frieza in his new Black Frieza form would overwhelm Goku and Vegeta. This is when Goku, again, he takes Senzu Bean, as he didn't need it, because they're too powerful. With the Senzu Bean, he gets another final Zenkai, which bumps him up so much stronger. At the time, he then taps a new Mastered Ultra Instinct for the first time, giving him the power boost that he needed to actually defeat Black Frieza in their matchup. But it was extremely close, like either side could have won. And Goku was able to win and kill Frieza finally. Now, since that is the case, we don't know what happens further, and I'm ending the saga here. Thank you all so much for the series. I really do appreciate it. As you guys can tell, this is a pretty long one, because I had to start from the end of the Cell Saga. But thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. If you made it this far, do hashtag Dragon Force down below. And make sure to check out the community post. Post your ideas and make sure to vote. Thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.